Hello everyone, this is Fahim from Tech Gaming Villa. Today I'm going to talk about the two TVs, Samsung QN90B, which is a mini LED panel TV, and another TV is Samsung S95B, which is QD-OLED. You see the two TV on the left side, Samsung QN90B, and on the right side, Samsung S95B. QN90B is thin, but not too thin to easily grip by two people when assembling and mounting it. Get it set up and you will be impressed by QN90B's looks. The pedestal mount really makes it look like the TV is floating behind the soundbar with the screen just high enough to peek over the top. It's design that's surprisingly rare in modern screens, many of which end up getting slightly blocked at the bottom. One criticism of Samsung's Tizen Smart TV interface is that it can be a bit difficult to navigate for new buys. You get used to the weird assortment of menus below the single app bar that you will actually want to use, but it's easy to get lost among Samsung's free content. This day I can't figure out how to add the aforementioned Paramount and Flex apps to the home screen. I'm sure there's a way, but I have yet to be motivated enough to find it. Anyways, I would encourage Samsung UI designers to take a deeper look at what people actually use these interfaces to do. I don't really need endless lists of suggested items to watch below the actual apps. One thing I absolutely won't complain about is the remote, which is rechargeable via solar cell on the back. Once you find something what you are sure to be impressed with how it looks on the QN90B. The TV features quantum dot technology for bright colors in high dynamic range. The matrix of mini LEDs behind the screen keeps even fast moving objects like soccer balls from having weird shading. Speaking of fast moving, this model does 120 frames per second at 4K, which means you will be able to get the most out of the PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X. It is compatible with both AMD FreeSync and NVIDIA G-Sync, making it a great PC gaming monitor. When watching movies in a dark room, the contrast is nearly as good as an OLED. I typically use modern Star Wars movies or Stranger Things to evaluate TVs, and both looked excellent on the QN90B without significant light bleed, even in super dark scenes. The bright rays of Stranger Things were downright mesmerizing on this TV, among the most vivid color I have seen from a TV in my viewing space. When you turn on the lights, you don't lose much of that astonishing color. Thanks to the super bright backlighting, you don't feel like you are watching a worse version of the same thing when you also want to see what's in your ice cream or popcorn bulb. Watching with many people at odd angles is a similar story when reviewing this unit, and I've never noticed a diminished image quality at the side angle view. I often end up taking, which is something I've seen a touch of from previous Samsung models. Another great thing about the QN90B, unlike OLED equivalents, is that they are very unlikely to experience long-term burning. So if you play a lot of single video game or watch a lot of particular news channel, you are unlikely to ruin your screen over years of viewing. Years ago, you had to compromise an overall image quality to get a TV that wouldn't look terrible during the day. But models like the QN90B and its predecessor QN90A prove you don't need to do that anymore. They just get brighter than other high-end models, and they actually look good while doing it. Frankly, the only reason this and other Samsung models don't score higher is the Samsung Tizen interface, a problem that's easily remedied by using a Roku Apple TV or other smart TV interface, but as a tool to hook to computers and game systems. So I think QN90B is a good choice. It should be stressed at this point that S95B's advantages over the best OLED rivals aren't biblically epic. For instance, LG's new G2 models with their new X panels and heatsink elements offer a marked brightness leap over other LG OLEDs, managing 970 nits in their standard mode compared with 1060 with the S95B. And in the Samsung's movie and filmmaker modes, the S95B hits 1040 nits, while the OLED 65-inch G2 delivers 950 and 942 nits in its cinema or cinema home and filmmaker modes respectively. Essentially, the S95B is delivering just under 10% more brightness in all modes than LG G2. While this might not be truly revolutionary difference, it's easily enough to make its presence felt in pretty much every frame of picture, especially as Samsung, as its way, has chosen to push its new screen's capabilities quite aggressively with its picture presets. This brings me to one of the main problems with Samsung's QD-OLED debuts. You need to get quite heavily involved with its picture setup menus to ensure you are always getting the best from it. On the preset side, the S95B's dynamic mode is borderline insane. Yes, it certainly shows off just how extreme QD-OLED technology can get with its hyper-saturated colors and forced brightness. But it also proves how that sort of gaudiness can look far too unnatural and unbalanced to deliver an ultimately enjoyable immersive experience. The default standard preset is much better combination of aggression and consistency, but still it suffers with a few issues you should tweak. The default motion processing is overly aggressive for starters, causing too many unwanted side effects, so you will need to set this to custom and reduce the judder and or blur reduction elements considerably to get more natural results. You should turn off the noise reduction systems with 4K and even good quality HD content too. To make the image look purer and less processed, standard mode also causes the occasional noticeable skip in the image's baseline brightness level during bright scenes. If you find this distracting with a particular film you are watching, you can remove the issue by deactivating the TV's contrast enhancer processing. Doing this though inevitably robs the image of some of the pop, vibrancy and brightness that you probably liked about it in the first place. The filmmaker mode proves a good shortcut option to enjoying pictures that track pretty accurately to established video standards. While what I am about to say may have some purists hissing through their teeth, I suspect that this setting will look too flat and dull for many S95B owners, though, especially if they have previously got used to the much more dazzling efforts of the standard preset. If I compare this Samsung QN90B with Samsung S95B, there is no comparison because S95B is QD-OLED panel, S95B is a far better TV. So that's it from now. If you like this video, please subscribe and press the bell icon for future updates. Thanks for watching.